Welcome back. We got Nolan, Tommy, shootmate. Okay, cool.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
I had to do it before we, I forgot because I got short-term memory loss.
Real bad.
All the gunfire that we had last Saturday, last Sunday.
That was so much gunfire. Well, it was not this past week.
No, it was not.
It was fucking terrible.
No. But what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. We've been having some difficulties with the whole situation here with the soundboard. But like I said, we got Nolan and Tommy here tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about diver hunting and what's been going on with, I don't know, big water, I guess, big pond.
Yeah.
Since Nolan hated the field hunting for the first time.
It was terrible.
But whatever. But Tommy, first time on for you. Nolan's been on once before.
Yep.
So Tommy, do you want to kind of just introduce yourself? Because or for the viewers that haven't watched the introduction for Nolan, go back and watch it or listen to it. So Tommy, what got you into bird hunting? When did you start bird hunting? Kind of just a little roundabout from your perspective.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, I started bird hunting probably, it was in high school. My buddy Ryan got me into it, and his dad. My family, of course, has been bird hunting for forever.
Okay.
My grandfather and uncle, they love it, and paint and carve and hunted for forever.
Oh, they have. That's sweet then.
Yep. But, yeah, I got into it in high school and started diver hunting at the beginning there. My buddy Billy had a big boat. We used to take it out, and we'd smack limits, and then we'd go mallard hunting, and we just wouldn't get as many, so we just stuck to the divers from then on out, and ever since kind of 5 or 6 years ago, it's just been divers hunting on Lake Erie. Yep.
I gotcha. Well, it's, me and Nolan talked about last night, I think it was.
Yeah.
We, I mean, from just your guys' group in general, been seeing a lot more even like banded divers lately.
Yeah, no, we just shot 2 banded redheads this past week. We've never shot any banded.
That's insane to even think about.
It's crazy.
Yeah, ever before.
With the amount of divers out there on Lake Erie, and to shoot the banded ones is nuts. I mean, you could say the same thing with whatever species, I guess, but I always felt like divers, there's so many of them.
Well, I feel like they're just so hard to catch in the springtime. I mean, they sit on the lakes. How do
Right.
you net trap them and band them?
Right. I don't know. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. And I heard there was a thumb war or something, Nolan?
Yeah, there was. So,
Game of things.
so yeah, we had a good group of redheads come in.
This past weekend?
This past weekend, we were doing an afternoon on Sunday. And after a very foggy morning, we went back out. And, man, we had bluebill landing like crazy, just coming in, big groups of them. And I think we were at our bluebill limit at the time. And so we were just looking to get some
bigger birds.
reds.
get some bigger birds. And,
Other birds.
yeah, we had a big group of redheads come in. I don't know, what is it, 8 to 10?
Nolan was trying to match the hats, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, you know. And they came in. We all,
I wish I could say a word right now, but I don't know if I should.
We, yeah, so we started dropping them, and, you know, we pulled the anchors, and we're going out to get them. And our buddy Ryan reaches down and grabs one, and I saw it in the water. I was like, that one's banded. And me and Tommy looked over at each other.
I got one 3 days before.
Yeah, it was.
Like, no, you're messing with me.
Right.
No, and so looked over at Tommy because we were shooting right next to each other, and we were shooting at those birds, and they were dropping, and
Holy smokes.
so yeah, we basically did a
Samurai.
yeah. So we played a game, and
only one.
I won. So
What'd you win? What games you played, Nolan?
we played fingies. I don't know if you know what fingies is.
Sounds, you know what I'm saying?
That's why I went with coin flip. So yeah,
I don't know, dude. Whatever. No, no, that was sweet though. Even the pictures that I got, since I mean, you hated the field hunt, whatever, and I'm glad you finally got on the birds.
Yeah, because we weren't getting on the birds in the field. That's for damn sure.
We'll talk about that slightly because we were supposed to have a podcast after the fact, but I think everybody's so frustrated, and then after we got done eating and stuff like that, we were all ready to take a nap.
Noel was upset with me. I got my limit, and 45
trust me,
minutes.
we
that
heard
morning.
about it.
Yeah. Oh, I was
We heard
letting
about
everybody know.
Yeah.
In the blind.
So we had a big feed going on, and Buddy Carson was able to get on the field, and I'm like, oh, dude, we got him, man. We got him. So I think it was a late night for me. I started inviting like some random people, whatever it was, and it was like by the time we were done, we had like 11 or something like that out of our group, and then Carson had like 4. So we had.
Let me butt in real quick.
Oh, whatever, dude.
I get a call. From Kyle asking if I want to go on a field hunt in the morning.
No, it was a Halloween party I was at.
That's right. And I responded with, yeah, I'll go as long as there's not 15 fucking people there. And he goes, oh no, there won't be. Show up in the morning. How many people did we have hunting?
15. 15 people there. But my thought process at the time, like there was no way that we had that many. But I was thinking to myself, like that was our group in general, not the other group coming with us. But I don't know. I look over at Nolan after like the first few flocks, and Nolan's just sitting there like just straight-eyed. I'm like, dude, he hates this stuff, man. Hates it. But we definitely seen a ton of birds.
We saw it. We did see a ton of birds.
Just not one bird wanted to work us. I mean, there was the two groups, I'll say, wanted to work us.
We had
out of the 1,500.
What, were they sitting in a different field somewhere close?
No, they were sitting in the field the night before that we hunted.
Right.
And we show up and we set up a little bit different where we were kind of forcing the birds to kind of really make a tight turn. But it just wasn't good after like realizing what was going on. But, it was one of those fields where I don't know too much about the field. So we'll set up here and we'll see what happens. Like I don't have much history with the field. So I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? And if I know or knew what I know now, it'd be different if where we even sat up at. The amount of people didn't matter with the amount of birds that we've seen. It was just the amount of birds that actually worked us compared to what we wanted to work us. So they would see us. They would. I wouldn't even say flare. No.
No, they would
just. We don't want to be there.
They'd see it. They'd see our spread. They'd give us a circle, maybe a second one, and there was like 2 main areas around us in the surrounding fields, if you will, that those birds were landing. We had a big group off to our right, and a big group kind of
over the trees.
Yeah, over the trees.
Right.
They were just going to the other live birds.
Well, at first it was like they just want to go over to the trees for whatever reason, and I mean. The bird hunting is so weird because, especially in the field, it's like there could be birds in a 10-acre field, and it's so tight to get into. If you have decoys out there, they won't do decoy worth of shit. But live birds out there, they'll dump right in. I mean, same with water hunting. You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird how all that works. Like I said, if the birds that we seen decoyed, we would have had no problem at all shooting. What would that have been?
Oh my God.
15
That'd have been
times 5.
Yeah, I'm not a good.
15 times 5.
Obviously over. I was gonna say obviously over 50 birds, but there would have been no problem at all. And the birds that decoyed, perfect.
Oh, they did it perfect. Textbook.
If they would have decoyed all like that, we would have been solid. And then Nolan's crying the whole time. My buddy shot their limit on the water, and you drug me out here.
I'm sitting there.
This, that, and the other.
We were bird watching.
I told him, I was like, I'm going in the morning. Just let me know if you want to go. And then I texted him late that night and was like, are you going to go? He's like, nah, I'm going to the field with my buddy Kyle. I said, well, good luck. I'll let you know how we do. Keep me posted on how you do. And then it was chaos. We had redheads. 2 redheads swimming in the decoys for an hour and a half before shooting light. I was in a kayak about 10 feet from it, putting the mojo in the water.
Nolan kind of brought that up to me. Nolan brought that up to me yesterday. How early do you guys get out there in the morning?
Oh, on the weekends, it's ridiculous. I mean, if the sun comes up at 6:30, you get to your spot on the water at like 4:30.
So, I know for us, like we get up early because we got about an hour drive from where we're at right now.
Right.
But
No,
Are
it's
you
2
getting any
hours.
sleep or anything?
Yeah,
like the night
no,
before?
I try
Like,
to go to bed at like 9, and then you get up at 4. You get to the boat 4:30.
because I like this is the first year in a long time where I've been hearing people. The dogs wrestling
Just
around
go-
here.
going
Hey,
at it.
hey, relax, sit down. Yeah, you heard me. But this is the first time in a couple years now where I've been hearing people like 3:30 or 3 o'clock at the boat launch, this, that, and the other. I feel like it's just getting earlier and earlier and earlier.
It's ridiculous. That's why I'm so glad we got the layout now, because on the weekends we just sleep in and then take the layout out.
That's the nice part of it, which I still haven't done, which is my own fault. Don't get me wrong.
We'll get you out.
Yeah, we're going
We'll
this
get you
weekend.
out.
There's so many people that said that to me where it's my own fault where it's like we got the people out there like this week, which I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but like we got a guy from Texas coming into town, and obviously we got the group going out there maybe Sunday if I'm not deer hunting.
Right.
Deer hunting.
Well, that's the hardest thing, just trying to get you away from the fields,
Right,
where you're
right.
getting you, having a free day.
Right, and it's so hard too because it's like that day in particular where we thought for sure that we were going to burn them up, and we had that amount of people because we thought we were going to just tear into them.
Right. You wanted that big limit.
Which it's not even about like the big
limit,
limits
but
though,
like-
but it's like if my big thing is if we have the birds in the field like that amount of number, like that big of quantity of birds out there, why not burn them? You know what I mean? Because
Right,
like
if
we're
you get the chance to.
right,
Might
right,
as well take
It'd
advantage
also be
of
a
it.
day you'd never forget, 75 geese.
right.
I mean, and you got to think too. I mean, you're putting 14 other guys
Right.
on some fun,
Having a great day.
Right,
Experience
some
of a
fun bird
lifetime.
hunting.
Oh, it would have probably been one of the best hunts ever if they were the way that the one group worked.
Oh yeah,
It would have
hands
been
down.
one of the best. I almost think that like we should have put more decoys out. Maybe that would have helped out a little bit, but who knows? I don't know. It is such a tough time.
yeah. I mean, watching you guys deal with that like in the moment, is
It was tough, man.
yeah. It's
It was tough.
just seeing that happen and trying to figure out what to do, what to change. Like which is hard when you're already like fully set up.
Right.
Everyone's.
And I think we ran
ready.
stakes for those decoys too, so
We
it was
did.
hard to change out like on a fly too. You know what I
Right.
mean? Which I guess it would go the same way with diver hunting as well. I mean, it's hard to change out long lines. It's hard to change out your spread with wind direction or whatever it may be. I'm not like super familiar with diver hunting or I think we talked about that too last night on the phone
Yeah. We talked.
where I just hunted off of islands and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, what is your guys' go-to kind of setup?
Well, for the layout boat, we got main lines. So we got 3 lines of 12 decoys on them.
Okay.
Yeah, they're about each probably 70-something feet long. So you got 20, 30 feet off each end, 12 decoys in the middle. For the wall hunting on the boat, we throw singles. We got like 30 singles just because I like
And that's
to
it.
customize. Yeah, that's it. No. I just like to customize the spread, throw them kind of how you want. You can make
Right.
different U's out of it or whatever. It's better than I think on the wall than just kind of straight lines. The birds kind of get used to that because everybody throws main lines.
Well, that's another question I was going to ask too, because like I always try to be different with it too. Where like we ran I think only 2 dozen or 2.5 dozen decoys out that day.
3.
Somewhere right around that area. But it's like you got everybody like I think those guys went out that night and they ran say 20 dozen dive bombs or whatever it was. Like we try to be different from everybody else where we'll run a dozen or 2 dozen decoys out and make it more realistic. Do you guys kind of do the same thing in the water?
Right, yeah. Like at the beginning of the year, we'd only throw like half of like 15 maybe just because there's not that many divers down here.
Right.
But now that they're all here, you throw all the 30
Okay.
just because they do raft up in big groups.
See, that's not a bad idea though either, because like everybody even on the wall I feel like is running lines out there.
Yes, they are. Most of them at least.
So running the singles, I mean, obviously more to clean up, more to pick up, harder to clean up and harder to pick up, but that more realistic kind of look of it all,
Yep.
which is super smart.
It's all about driving the boat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You get the wind at your back and you float sideways through all of them. Everybody just picks them all up.
well, but like, well, the thing is though, like when I try to preach to everybody, it's like, you know, you got all these guys doing one thing. Like, okay, for example wise, like you got guys hunting the marsh, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are the most obvious decoy spreads you'll see from 8 out of 10 boats? You'll see 2 to 3 dozen mallards and 2 spinners, and that's it.
Yep.
Out of every boat. On the wall, I'm sure you're going to see 3 to 4 lines, and that's it. So running 30 singles, I mean, that's a realistic spread.
Yeah. And you'll at least have some weird people out there throwing mallard decoys on the diver wall.
Right.
You know?
Wow.
Usually doesn't work. Well,
And then some people throwing like 4 mojos out there, you know.
Do you guys throw mojos or no?
We do. We have one. We just throw one. But
Any goose decoys?
no, we never mix the mallards and divers or geese and divers with each other because
Really?
we feel like it scares away both the mallards and the divers. Like they're like, oh, it's not just my group of people. You know, it's not just my.
Yeah,
my
because
mallards.
I feel like the early mornings you're gonna shoot your mallards because obviously you can't see
Can't
as
them.
good.
They'll come in then.
But I feel like the goose decoys wouldn't be as bad because later in the year I feel like you have those geese that sit out in the middle of the lake that are high pressured birds.
Right. Once it ices up, then it gets like a realism type decoy.
Yeah. And even like with like a swan decoy out there, like I
Exactly,
tell
or a
people
coot
about
or
that.
something,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
I'm never
something.
gonna shoot a coot, but I'll throw the decoy out there for
Right.
some realism.
Right. And that's the big thing too. Like I want to go out there one time and just throw like long lines of goose decoys and see what happens.
Yeah. No, there's always geese flying overhead, and I'm always thinking, you know, damn, I wonder if I actually run a full goose spread out here, if they would do it, you know?
Because there's one guy in Canada, I feel like, I it's either St. Clair or down here, where I think he throws out like 3 to 5 long lines of just straight goose floaters and just burns them.
Yeah.
Especially on the north winds. All the migrators, whether you're sitting on the dike walls or in the middle of the lake, like the birds are going to see that and they're dumping right in. It's the, like I said, the confidence kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, the geese never get hunted in the middle of the lake. There's no way that
Right.
they're thinking, oh, this is, you know.
Right. And I feel like even like the Metro Park geese, like they fly way out there.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see them next to the shore or anything.
No, I mean, you know, if we're set up, you know, we're facing out towards the lake, you know, we'll see them geese.
Just go out
We'll see them like way up
go.
there,
Yeah.
and then we never see them land. So
Right.
you know, either they're continuing flying or they're just
Dumping in the
landing
middle.
somewhere out in the middle. You know,
Right. No. What so what I mean, you said your dad and your grandpa?
My uncle and my grandpa. Skip my dad. He didn't hunt when he was little.
Okay, skip him. Hard skip, I feel
know.
like. I feel
Skip
like
my
I'm missing
dad.
something out there, but whatever. Skip. So they kind of started the old layout hunting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
Grandpa Tom Shoemate helped start the whole Ducks Unlimited down here, layout hunting, decoy carving type stuff back in the day.
does he still like carve anything or?
Sadly, he passed away in 2002.
I feel like a complete dick on this podcast.
No,
already.
you're fine. That's totally fine. No, my uncle still does though. My uncle still paints like that one up on your wall there.
Yeah.
He'll carve too, and his business is taxidermy. He doesn't do ducks, of course, but he does everything else.
And he still carves?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe we'll have to try to get a carving in here because that'd be sweet. Because like the whole point of like the room, which obviously like the people listening can't see the room, but like
It's a duck vibe.
we got Point Moulet, we got Saginaw Bay, Dick Whitlam, Jim Foote,
Right.
your uncle. We got
Downriver.
yeah,
classic
you know what I
people,
mean. Just
you know.
the local kind of stuff. Where obviously I want to get more like the turkey vibe in here. I want to get more of a deer vibe, which we only got the antlers on the wall and stuff like that, and the turkeys on the wall. But
turkeys, yeah.
that's it though. You know what I mean? I'd like to get a little bit more of a variety of stuff than just ducks. You know what I mean? Because once turkey starts coming around, we're gonna start talking more turkey, which I'm gonna get Trav on here, or he's already been on here by the time this is dropped. Where we're gonna talk about deer and stuff like that, which I've got into a lot more this year. Do you deer hunt at all or no?
I've never deer hunted, but my grandma's got a whole bunch of land in Charlevoix, and she's like, "You can shoot them right out my back door if you want to. They walk and eat my flowers." So I don't like big bucks, but I just got to go do it. I've never done it.
I feel like that's the thing, like with deer hunting.
We're so used to like the camaraderie of like, I don't even know if I said that
Being out
word
there
right,
with
but like,
everybody.
yeah, being out there. I got the dogs. Obviously,
Never got to
they're
be
here.
quiet except for 30 seconds
Right.
before the birds come in.
Right, and then next thing you know, you shoot,
Yeah, so it's
and then you got more birds coming in. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
it's like more of a social interaction with your buddies and having a
Right.
good time versus, when you're sitting. That's kind of why I've not stayed away, but I feel like it's a lot harder, if you don't have land to get into deer than it is to
Right.
duck. You can set up, somewhat close to somebody, on the, out
On the wall.
on the wall, or just duck hunting, or goose hunting in general. But with deer,
Another one? Okay,
Good
you
for
good?
now. I'm
Okay,
almost
I just
done.
wanted to make sure. But no, I mean like even the deer hunting aspect of it all. Like if you're not going out there just for the meat process of it all, like the duck hunting is where it's at. I feel like you know what I mean though.
100%,
Like you got the guys that are going out there and shooting the does and filling the freezers, which obviously great. I wish.
And deer tastes great. That's the only reason really why I do it.
Yeah, which I wish I did it more.
Yeah.
Obviously,
right?
like I've had a couple shots at some. Jeez, oh, please excuse me.
Nice.
Some deer in range where I could have pulled the trigger on, but obviously I want the meat. Jeez, oh, Pete. Someone scared me. But obviously I want the meat, but at the same time, it's like I'm not going after that one. Or if I want to shoot a deer, I'd shoot a doe, and kind of that
Right.
aspect of it all.
I
You know
feel
what
like
mean?
that's what it turns into. It's like, oh man, I'd like to have some venison in the
Right.
freezer, and then all of a sudden, you're setting out trail cams, and then you catch
Right.
that big buck, and now you're after
You
the
got
big buck,
fever.
and you're not worried about.
Well, it screws me up the other night. I don't know if I told you about this. So, and I don't know if I showed you a picture of this deer. I feel like I have showed you a picture of this deer. One of our shooters, he's got 2 stickers on the backside. He's a 10-point, well, 12-point with the stickers. I tell the guy at work one day, I'm like, hey, I'm going to leave a little bit early, this, that, and the other. Like, I got deer in my mind, dude. I'm not going to be working. Like, I got deer in my mind. And 2 o'clock rolls around, which I told him I was going to leave. We're still doing work. I'm like, I can't leave right now. 2:30 rolls around. I'm like, I want to finish up this last thing. I'll hang out for a little bit longer. 2:45 or whatever it was, I ended up leaving. I start heading out to the property. Right when I'm pulling into park, I get a picture on the camera. It was the shooter right in front of the stand. And same thing with opening morning. Like, you were there before opening morning. I was like, I don't know, this, that, and the other. I don't even think I had broadheads yet, but I wanted to get out there. Deer was right at shooting light, right underneath my stand. Same deer.
They know.
Oh, 100%
They
they
know.
know. 100% they know. And it's just like, what the hell, man? But I don't know. But that the diver stuff kind of interests me though, with just being different from what I've been used to. You know what I mean? I've been blessed with the amount of properties that we can goose hunt and get the friends and family out there. But diver hunting and stuff like that, it's one of those things that has interested me. But the only thing that also kind of keeps me away from it is the amount of people, because we get family and friends and stuff like that, which I also, I love taking out. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's
I
what's
mean,
tough.
It's true.
Yeah, we got almost every time we go out, we'll take 2 boats.
Just
we
because
have,
we want all the people, and our buddies out there. So 8 guys on 2 boats.
That's not bad though.
Yeah.
No, but then you look at it like you're taking 2 boats. You know what I mean? It's like
We try to tie them as close as we can to each other type thing, to hear each other. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still better than
So
being like only 4 of you can, only 4 of you can come. Yeah.
Right.
right.
So
picking
so
days.
the podcast that we dropped tonight, we had the guy from Ohio, which I don't think either one of you guys met. They hunt down south, and they're hunting a lake that is very high pressured. How's the pressure down here? Like down there, they're dealing with a lot of sky busters because they're not getting the amount of birds. I mean, are you guys dealing with the same stuff on Oh, Nolan's shooting.
Oh, hey.
No, but they got guys that aren't doing the right stuff on the birds that they have. Like we have so many birds around here.
Right. Oh,
And there's so many
a
people, but I think he has like 72 or 74 blinds on this lake that he's got that are permanent blinds, but it's like a 3-mile lake.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's loaded up
That's
with blinds.
ridiculous.
But people are shooting birds at 100 yards away. Last weekend when I had them up here, we weren't shooting ducks at 30 yards. I was waiting for them to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were itching to pull the trigger for
Right.
sure. But like compared to down there, what are you guys seeing out here with other people out there? I mean, is there people doing the right thing, or more people doing the wrong thing out there?
Most of the time, right thing. Most of the time, people do the right thing, and it's really, as this year, there's not been that many people. I feel like,
The weather's
I feel like I've gone.
funky, man.
It has been funky, but the birds are here, and it's just people haven't.
Really?
Like the wall's been pretty empty,
Right,
surprisingly.
right.
But I've been out there, and I've had people rally and chase right in front of my boat. Like people that do the wrong shit and don't really know what they're doing. But most of the time, everybody's knows what they're doing. Waits till shooting light, shoots the right birds,
Right.
doesn't go over limits, whatever.
I think I said something to you when we were talking last night, because I think you asked like something similar. We got into the talk about something similar, and like I really haven't noticed. I mean, like I've heard horror stories like from you guys talking about where you'd be set up and then like 80 feet down the wall somebody else decides that they want to set up and I mean thankfully
Right at
like
shooting light too.
yeah
Like
right,
15
yeah.
minutes
They'll just
before
roll
shooting
up,
light, they'll be like, "There's a guy."
And they act like they
guy
own the whole
100
property.
yards away from someone, and this guy
Right.
goes right in between both of us.
Right.
We're both pissed, shining him, whatever.
yeah and yeah like I've
And you
heard,
can't do nothing about it.
No, you can yell all you want, get as angry as you want, but at the end of the day, if you go over there, what's going to change, really?
And that's what I think me and you talked about last night, and that's what got me away from like the public land, which obviously like is a whole different thing, which I should get into more with like the divers aspect of it all. But like, there's something about the field hunting where I can show up in the morning, whatever time I wanted to show up, and I don't have to worry about
Field's
a
open for
single
ya.
person.
That's why I like weekday hunting, because there's nobody out there. So I weekday hunt the wall, and then now we we lay out hunt when we don't have pressure from other people.
And the
during
problem is,
weekends
though,
when everybody else is hunting.
the damn time change.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
That's what
I
sucks.
thought they were done with that shit.
I thought they were too, man.
Because when let me tell you, when I was shooting ducks at 7:30 shooting light, you get up at 5:30. That's not that bad. But
Right.
4:30
Exactly.
is killer.
This
really is.
this past weekend this past weekend actually killed me, which like I said, I shouldn't say past weekend because I don't know when this is gonna like actually drop, but
the weekend of the time change.
yeah, the weekend of the time change. So Friday night I worked. I left work early, an hour early. Went right to the field. We hunted. We went to our local spot where we go to when they open up for us, and we hang out. And no one got to experience that place. I mean,
great place.
it's a fun little place where like they see us coming, they open up the doors, they lock the doors behind us. Nobody else is able to get in. Like it's
Perfect.
it's a sweet spot.
Right.
But we go there. I think I get a 2-hour nap. I go back on. We had like some pedal bar one night. That night, I don't go to bed till like 2, I think it was. Wake up and hunt again, and I don't have to worry about it. I woke up late. My dad actually ended up calling me and woke up late. But like I said, I whatever. I don't have to worry about anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be a little bit late for the birds like showing up, but
I wish.
whatever. You know what I mean?
We'll go out there and we'll set the spread up at 4:30, and then we'll anchor. We'll be like, well, time to try to nap, and you'll pull
There's
the blind
something
up,
about
pull it
that,
over
though.
your head, and put lights on the front and back, and try to
Right.
sleep.
But there's
2
something
hours.
about that though that's like actually pretty cool. Like waking up on the water like that though. I do miss like stuff like that though. You know what I mean? Like seeing the sunrise and all the other birds that are flying through the spread or whatever it is. Like there is something special about that though.
Right.
And at 2 hours, and I mean, usually we don't end up napping. We just
Sit
end up
there
talking
and bullshit or whatever, yeah.
making fun of each other, and That's what it's all
And
about,
you don't
too.
got
So
any-
glad I'm not going out with you because
never
me and
got
you would be bantering back and forth, dude.
No one's ever got phone service either, so it's just
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
whatever
Oh, dude.
stories you got to tell or whatever.
I'm so glad Nolan doesn't get phone service because his search history would be looking up some weird stuff, man. I tell you that.
I know. I feel like this guy's fucking the one to sit there and watch videos full volume while I'm trying to sleep too.
That was. I meant to
okay.
bring that up actually when we were this. Tommy has his outdoors page and he's always taking.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah.
I gotta follow you guys on that too because I don't know if I do or not. But Nolan did mention something about that before.
Yeah, it's Tommy's Mr. Artsy Fartsy with his pictures and everything, and
I'm the same way.
taking videos, and
It's gotta be
I
good.
gotta
dude.
be. Oh yeah, I gotta be
hey,
different angles.
I completely
videos,
understand.
Yeah,
whatever.
so
it.
Nolan's
No, I
can't say
listen.
it, but suck one. Dude.
Yeah, I completely understand it, but it always seems like I am in the midst of saying the most fucked up shit, and Tommy's just like, dude, I'm taking a video right
I
now.
hate that, dude. Because like I'll be like taking a video like the dead birds or whatever it is. And it's like, dude, shut up, man.
Bluebill again.
Oh no, I don't even think that's it. I gotta find the right one.
Oh, it's goofy, dude.
Oh, it's so funny.
You said,
Dude, I hate it.
oh my, well.
This is definitely it.
Fucking believable, dude.
There was one, I think you were recording.
Do you have a good hiding spot in your boat?
I'm videotaping. The ducks just landed in the decoys. You
Yeah.
Got a good hiding spot.
Oh my
We had a
god.
bluebill limit. It's hard not to.
Let me ask you about that though. So blue bill limit is 1 till when?
November 1st
Okay, and then it switches over
to 2.
which is insane because there's so many of them.
It's like, I swear it's like 75% bluebills out there.
Now that
you know what,
that
real
just
quick,
changed though, right?
While we're talking about this, I
Right.
made a mistake
Oh,
on the
God.
last podcast, and I said we killed more Buffies than we do Blues, and I got cooked
That's
for it.
wrong.
That was
You
a
did get cooked on it?
Yeah, we cooked them
incorrect
pretty
state.
good.
Yeah,
Good.
I'd never lived that
Good.
down, so
Because
I had to make sure I said
fucking
it
don't
now.
like buffleheads.
Good.
Make it
Yes,
known.
yes.
You should
We-
get cooked more often.
I'll only
Yes,
shoot the
I do. What do you
males,
mean?
And the females, I'll just watch them fly through the decoys.
Tommy's a liar.
Unless it's a super slow day, then I guess I'll shoot a female bufflehead.
Whatever, dude.
I swear that one was banded.
Yeah, yeah. I got a buddy down in Ohio, Dustin. He shot a albino buffy last
Okay,
year.
I would shoot an albino bufflehead for sure.
Oh, dude, they were after this bird for a little while.
Well,
We had him on the podcast. It's a long story. We had him on the podcast prior to us taking over the podcast, which they're going to be coming up again soon and doing a podcast on here. It's Tri-State Retrievers. So shout out to those guys. But the bufflehead is unbelievable. I don't know if you guys probably both seen it, but not even realizing it. Absolute stud of a bird. It was absolutely insane. It was all because it was all over Facebook stuff, all over the place.
That is cool.
But
That's really cool.
I want to shoot a duck like that, some sort of hybrid or
right.
blind, and mount it.
I'm gonna have to take a little break
Okay.
because
Have a
I
break.
gotta piss.
Have a
dude.
Kit Kat.
So, all right, we're back. We're back from the old piss break. But no, we just talked about a little bit of diver hunting in general. Which what were we talking about beforehand? I don't even remember. Do you?
Before you took your piss break?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't even
We
matter
hit-
at this
we
point, I
hit diver
guess.
hunting in general, and then you talk
But-
about your geese and
yeah, whatever. But so you talked about diver hunting. I wanted to talk about with the layout boat and the long lines and the safety aspect of everything. How do you set up the long lines and the layout boat? Or how does
it all work?
Yeah, how does it all work? How does
Walk you through?
yeah? How
Yeah,
does
let's
the
do the
puzzle
setup
come together?
procedure, Tom.
Set up procedure?
Yeah.
Well, we get to the boat. Ryan goes to his boat where the layout's located.
Okay.
which is at my cousin's house, Garrett.
He's
down in
actually
Gibraltar.
now.
Garrett is now the mayor.
He's the
of
mayor
Gibraltar.
of Gibraltar.
Yeah,
Oh
as of yesterday.
yeah, right off a horse.
Yeah, right there.
Okay,
So Ryan keeps his boat there with the layout, and then
I know exactly what that's at because he was part of the kayak run.
he was the end. He was
Yeah,
the last
yeah.
one. Yeah.
That's the first house I went to.
Yep. So yeah, Nolan or whoever else at least three people will meet there to load the layout up into the boat, and I will go to my boat down in Rockwood with the decoys, or not with the decoys, but anchors, grill, food type thing, and we'll drive out there and we'll meet up with each other just in a general location.
What's that?
I didn't give you food on our hunt.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Your dad was making food.
On our hunt? Oh, yeah, you did
he
make
did
food.
make food.
Never mind.
Yeah,
Take
no,
that back.
Then we'll get out there hopefully get out there right when the sun's coming up so you can see what's going on. And you look and see where the birds are flying, where they're rafting up, where they're moving over. And then you either set up where they're flying over or you set up where they're rafting because you know that there's food or something there that they like. So then I anchor my boat. We all get into one boat. And then we drop the layout off the side, throw the anchors. There's a couple ways to do the long lines, but we got it set up to where we just clip them all on one by one individually. So we just drop the anchor off and we got the line on this long spool. We just individually clip all the decoys on. It's super simple and easy. And then throw a couple life jackets in the layout for safety with some walkie-talkies to talk to the tender.
Yep. Or hit him with the ooga booga, as you said
Right,
last
yeah,
time.
no, there was the walkie-talkies. We got to get some better walkie-talkies. They're not very good, so I just told...
Are they like the Mickey Mouse ones?
Basically.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
they're-
bright orange and, yeah. No.
They're not very, they don't have a very good range.
So, like,
and
it would just be crackle, crackle when you try to talk. I told Nolan to just hold his gun over his head.
Now, do you guys usually like one like anchor and then use the wind?
Right, yeah, so you throw the back one, or you drop the layout in. We had it so nice, we got it set up on clips, so you can just clip the layout anchors on when you want them to.
Okay.
So we clip the back one on, and we'll throw it, and then you'll kind of see where the wind is blowing, and you can kind of swing the layout to where you're kind of perfectly
and then set the
behind
decoys
from the
up.
wind, and then you set all the decoys up. Yeah, layout first, then decoys.
Okay.
And then you pick up decoys first, and then pick up the layout.
Gotcha.
yeah, we had it down. I mean, when I went out with you guys, it was the second time?
Yeah, our
Second time we did it. And I mean, I almost thought it went faster than like picking up decoys, just hunting the wall.
Right, like just throwing a normal spread. It was
in
about
throwing the
same amount of
layout.
time.
And how we have it, I mean, so the two boats that we use, we have yours, what is it, a Grizzly?
18-foot Grizzly tracker,
18 foot,
yeah.
And
With
then
low
Just like-
sides, which is nice, so we
Just like my
pick the
boat.
layout
yeah,
up
yeah. And
on
so,
that.
yeah,
That's
how we
right,
had
so
it,
it's got
and
high
then
sides.
the other boat that we use is a, 22
21
foot
Yeah.
StarCraft center console. So how they figured out how to do it, which was like really smart, was we'll all get in the lower sided boat, bring the layout up into the Grizzly, and then we'll have two guys stay on the Grizzly, two guys get in the StarCraft, and then we'll lift it up into that. So it's like a step process because we couldn't
It's like
be able
3
to
or
just
4 feet from water to the StarCraft with a 2-man, 235-pound layout is
What about like
quite the angle.
Okay, so obviously it'd be a lot, but I've also talked to a buddy about this as well. Like, if you had 2 PVC pipes, like 3-inch PVC pipes, I'll say, because I mean, obviously that's in a whole little bit of weight, and then that StarCraft has a crank system, like a winch for
like a little ramp, make a ramp to it.
like straight out of the water, but you use the Grizzly next to it, and then just slowly go up next to it.
Oh, I mean, there's 100 different ways that you could do it, right?
No, I mean, you're not
having
wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean,
But that PVC pipe would,
help
Ramp
it,
it up, yeah.
get up and be easier. Yeah, I mean, that would definitely probably save our backs a little bit.
Right, it was a little sore the next day.
Yeah, especially after laying on that piece of plywood, basically.
I tell you what, it is pretty comfortable.
Is it?
I was pretty comfortable.
If you got not a straight bag, it's not very comfortable.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. We had the
Noah's
old.
got scoliosis over here.
I got scoliosis. To be honest with you. I swear to God, I do. I got So we were at a playoff game for the old Trenton Toughies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, dude, there was the team before us had like some guy in their team that was like a part of some chiropractor thing. I went right on that table, dude. I've never heard my back or neck crack like that ever before in my life, and I was never so like just free willy like, dude. Oh my God, because I've never been to a chiropractor before.
Right, no, I haven't either.
And the way that he cracked it, the way that he popped my neck, and like he did the whole like wrap around like the towel around the neck and then pull it. Holy smokes, dude.
You
One
feel
of
like
my
a brand
buddy's
new
dads
man.
is a chiropractor. I've gotten a couple neck cracks
Oh
from him.
my
They feel
God.
amazing.
It was insane.
It's life changing.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to go to one because after about a half hour of sitting in that layout, I was back was
Oh,
burning.
dude.
I'll tell you what. That layout, though, there's nothing like it. Those birds are right in your face.
Oh man,
That's what I heard,
it's-
especially. I
I
mean,
mean,
do you guys
You're
get into
10
the?
feet from them.
You guys get into the old squall around here?
We saw one the other day when we were picking up. Of course, it was a female. It wasn't a male.
Okay.
But, I think they like Lake St. Clair a lot better than they
Yeah,
do here for
100%.
some reason. 'Cause they shoot a
100%.
lot of them up there. But we'll see a couple females every year, never males. But if you're gonna shoot the old squall, it's gonna be out of the layout boat. So maybe this year will be the year we get one.
I mean, I feel like I hear a lot of people shooting them things, and they're so close. Like they don't even know you're there. Like
Right.
you throw like 3 decoys behind the layout, and they're like right
Yeah.
on top of you.
And we
They're
shot a
just
surf
dumb.
scouter the other day. You know?
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I don't
yeah,
think
no,
Nolan was
I,
there,
I
but-
wasn't there.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like that's a sea duck. You don't get those often. So
I did hear in previous podcast wise, I had some guys on here talking about sea ducks actually hitting the Great Lakes more and more every single year.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, Steve-O, I don't know if you know Steve-O at all, Gibraltar guy, where I keep my boat at. He shot that Harlequin a couple years ago and
Yeah,
stuff
no,
like that.
they'll-
It's crazy.
random ducks will come through here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Absolutely crazy. And then what, Saginaw Bay last week, I think it was. They shot Brant geese.
Last year, I
Yeah, I
think
did-
there were
yeah, I
pictures
heard
going
about
around
those. Yeah.
Facebook
Insane.
of people seeing a cinnamon teal
Really?
last year in Middle Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah, that was huge. I
Yeah.
remember that story
Yeah.
was.
And I
That's
know
not
that
around
this
for
year
me.
I've seen pintails fly over my head. Like while
We
I'm
had-
at
I've
the
been
wall,
hearing a
I'm
lot
seeing
of
'em.
pintails.
We got one
Yeah.
over in Canada when me and Spence went out.
Did you?
Yeah, when we had we were hunting that small pond and basically in the middle of a field, and yeah, what did we got? Man, that was a crazy bag. We got a merg. Yeah.
Who shot that?
Buffy?
You?
No, for sure.
Oh, it was.
And it
Well,
was-
because Canada has a half hour after, dude. I didn't know what I was
Right.
shooting.
Oh,
I'm gonna buy it.
whatever, dude.
I'm
It
gonna
was
buy
dark.
my Canadian license, I think,
I think you need to.
because I can then hunt. I can
It's
move my
insane.
boat back up into the river for all of December.
Right.
It's
ducks,
almost worth
all
it.
and that's when all the birds are there.
I can shoot 6 buffles. I bluebills. I can shoot 6
Right,
redheads. There's no
right.
individual duck limit,
That's the biggest thing for sure. If you're gonna shoot the water, like
and the river won't freeze first because moving the water.
Right.
It'll stay open till the very end.
well, granted, how many birds are here when we're out of season?
Oh my god, that's when
Hundreds
oh.
of thousands
Yeah.
are in that river. I'm
Yeah.
talking the river's black. Like there's
100%.
you can't see the water. It's just
Oh,
birds.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's the craziest thing.
What are some pros and cons of layout hunting or diver hunting on the big water here?
I don't think I've found a con to layout hunting yet, but diver hunting in
we
general.
talked about
Well, all the danger factor is a con to layout hunting.
right. So let's kind of break into that a little bit.
You can only, I'd say, we'll never take it out if it's over 10 to 12 mile an hour winds. We probably just won't take it out just because you want to play it safe, and the waves will pick up. You never know when the wind will shift or the waves will pick
And
up
Lake
on
Erie's
you,
the
and
most
then
dangerous
exactly
lake out there.
the waves are so tight together and big, they'll sink your layout.
Right.
It
And
just
especially-
takes 10 minutes of the wind switch.
Like the area that we hunt to, it's so, because we're right at the mouth, so it's so prone to just have some crazy weather roll right in off
And
of
just
the lake.
rough water because the depth changes all over the place.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about that, like either yesterday or the day before, on just like how crazy it is. I mean, you'll set up your decoys, getting there so early too. In the morning you could have calm winds and like cloud cover. Yeah, well, it's dark at the time, but I mean, as soon as that sun pops its head above the horizon, dude, you could have crazy
sun's got
wind
a head.
roll in. You could have a crazy storm roll in. Like,
Sun's got a head.
sun does have a head.
Does it?
I've seen it
What part is it?
right there.
Oh,
I know it's true though. I remember last year there was what was it? It was a 27 mile an hour west wind,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, the weather app said it would swing northwest at like 9 or something like that. And I was like, all right, we can go out
That's
until
southwest?
it'll swing northwest.
Oh, northwest. Okay. So which isn't bad at all.
Well,
for us.
It was though. Like, well, the way I'd keep my boat, I had to drive northwest to get back
Okay.
to where I keep my boat.
Depends
from
on
where
how
I was.
far out you are, I guess.
Right. So I was like, if you know the Banana Dike, I was on the wall, and I
Okay.
had to drive back up through that bay, which you wouldn't think would be bad, but on a 27-mile-an-hour gusts of 40,
Right.
the wind switched, and within a matter of 10 minutes, those waves were 3 feet. And my buddy Billy was out there that day. He left his entire decoy spread. He said, I was taking waves over the front. I was taking waves over the back. I seriously thought I was sinking. So I just left.
Really?
My whole spread. Yeah. And then I picked up all my decoys, and I was a little less close to sinking than him. So I picked up all my decoys. And then by the time I had to pass where he was hunting to get back in, and I saw all of his decoys just kind of there while I drove by, and
What
there
a
was no
friend.
way I was picking them. There's no way I was picking
What
them
a
up
friend.
because if I turned around, I thought I was swamping my boat
Right,
too, you
right,
know. And
right.
they were
Especially if
gone.
you got a boat like mine, for
yeah,
sure.
it's flat bottom, 18
Right,
foot tracker.
right.
Yeah, I'm not meant to be fighting 3 foot chop at all.
Right. No, you're meant to be.
Not with 4 people in the boat and a dog and a bunch of decoys.
Do you have a dog?
Yeah, I do.
So do you take the dog out diver hunting all the time?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's a German short hair pointer, so you wouldn't think he'd hunt ducks.
How does he do?
He does really good, except
Really?
he's a slow swimmer. His ass sinks.
That's all right, though.
Yeah. But his ass sinks, but the bright side of that is his head's really high out of the water, so he can see the birds a lot better.
He gets really, really excited too when birds come
Oh,
in.
he does not know the meaning of the word stay anymore. He
No.
forgot. I just have to hold his ass. I have to grab his ass, and then when the birds come, I can stand up. I just got to stand up and shoot, but he'll jump. He's got good eyes. He'll see him, and he'll jump
He's got a
way
video
early.
on his Instagram, and I was looking through it today. I was looking for the layout video, and there's a clear as day. I mean, Tommy's got his GoPro on his head, and there's a couple birds coming in, cupped up. There goes Jax,
Oh,
like right off the
man.
boat.
Way early.
That's the hard part. Even like Saturday, like Ellie was jumping big time, but it's just them
They're
dogs
just so
get
excited. I know
right?
you can't be angry at them,
No.
because they're just so excited.
Right.
That was
right.
I was good. That's the story that you told me to hold on. That was one of my favorites. I was gonna tell you, but that field hunt that we did, we only had Rip out there, and one of the retrieves he had, the bird was still a little bit alive.
Oh,
I don't know if you
yeah.
remember this, and I mean, Rip's about as tall as a goose standing
Oh,
up.
he's not-
he's
yeah.
not a very tall dog,
No.
and yeah, he was.
He's a tank, though.
Yeah, oh
man.
yeah, no, he was running back with it, and the goose's head was sticking out of the
He's
side
like,
of it, and he's
"What
just
the
looking
hell
around.
just
What am I?
happened to me?"
What am I doing?
Yeah.
That made me laugh pretty
Yeah.
good.
No, Rip's not that big at all. Ellie's not that much bigger either, but I mean, I feel like Ellie can like handle a goose. The problem with Ellie is like she's got a problem with grabbing them. Rip's just got that like you're coming with me,
Yeah,
mentality.
that little
you know what I
mighty
mean?
dog,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I mean. It's funny because especially like early season when we were shooting local birds, those geese were like as big as him.
Oh yeah.
And when he was bringing those birds back, all you see is like a goose sideways coming back. Like you wouldn't even see a rip coming back. You just see the goose coming back. But no, it was a good time.
I think one of my favorite Jack stories was I think we were hunting the wall, and we had a cripple towards like the end of our spread, and the dogs jumped. They're going after it, and those divers are doing everything to avoid
Diving.
getting grabbed. And as soon as Jax got out there, it dove. And so, Jax is like looking for it, and he looks to the left. It pops up right behind him on the right. He turns around, duck goes back down, and for I don't know, it was probably a minute
Good
and a
2 to 3
half, dude.
minutes,
It was the funniest game of whack-a-mole you'd ever see. And Jack smartened up. Like, he turned, he saw it, and then he already was facing the other way, and that that bird came up and he grabbed it, dude. There was high fives all around. We were cheering. You would have thought our team won the state championship. It was hilarious.
That's what that is one thing where like in the pool even with Ellie when she was even younger wise, I would literally have her like come retrieve, duck it underwater, pop it up underneath or whatever it was, way underneath. She would come towards it, pop it back underneath. It just kind of get her used to it, but like to see the dog, I don't know, just succeed at the retrieve like that. I mean, it's such a good feeling with all of that stuff.
On top of, like it makes, it gives something to you too.
Right,
it's like,
right.
that's what I trained my dog to do,
Right.
Watching him do it and like, seeing all your hard work
Yeah,
too
no,
pay off,
100%,
like that's
100%.
huge. Like that's super cool.
What how's your guys' diver season been going so far though?
So good.
That's
I
good
mean,
then.
compared to at least other years, normally the birds aren't, at least not this many of them are here at this time. Normally it's another
Right,
couple weeks.
right.
Like Thanksgiving is when it's really, really good normally.
Thanksgiving is usually the second opening day, basically.
Oh, yeah, for everybody. Yeah,
Right.
it's awesome. But it started 2 weekends ago. I mean, Saturday, that's so right after it got super warm. Remember, it got to like 70 degrees again.
Yeah.
And there was birds here before that, but that stopped all migration. And then once it dropped again to 30s that next Sunday, that's when it pushed down a big old raft of birds. And that's when you guys went to your field and it turned on for the first time that Sunday morning. And then we got...
That was really good for us too.
Oh, it sure did push a lot of birds down. None of them
Pushed a
wanted to
lot of
land.
them
But
down, I know.
yeah, no, they were there.
We shot 12 that morning, that Sunday morning, a 2-man limit. And then
Yeah,
we
take a
got...
look at this.
We got a 2-man limit the next day, and then we got 20 birds the next day, 10 the next day, 17 the next day, 19 the next day, and then 3 this last time I went.
Do you do what he does?
I got a log in my phone, so I have how many birds I shoot, what kind they are, and then where I shot them.
So I
What
tried to, but the problem is like early season I started with the log book. I got a book in my truck and everything because in the podcast room here, I was gonna have like a bookshelf of like years and years and years and years,
Right.
whatever it was. But the problem is like I'll go out so many different times and I'll see birds here or see birds there, and it's like, well, I can't hunt that, so why am I gonna log it? Or
Oh, see, I only
what?
log the ones I shoot. So like
That part of it, I probably should more, but I do more of like the picture aspect of it all.
right. I mean, that's true. It's like a log of photos. You got
Right.
it all there.
Right. So it's like, because I'll look back at pictures and say, well, we shot birds here at this time. So now this crop should be cut. So I'll go check over here. Or like, we'll have a slow week where it's like, I don't know where any birds are at. Let me look back at the pictures. Last year we shot birds here. Well, let me go check over that way. I mean, you know what I mean? So it's
Right. It's basically the same thing,
same
just
thing.
in picture form.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah,
like
so
the
let-
log that I can scroll at the end of the year, and I have like the count of how many bluebills and how many redheads I shot
That's
like
what's
through the
nice.
whole year, and then how many total you've shot that entire year.
So we do that on the trailer. We got the ducks, the geese,
Tallies.
and then like the snow geese that we shoot like throughout the years and stuff like that. Like we do have all of that.
So let me ask you now. I'll turn it around. How do you think this year's going for you guys? I mean,
This year is one of the slowest years that I've ever had.
really.
Yeah, one of the slowest
Opposite then,
years.
huh?
That is
100%.
weird how that
which yeah, super weird.
kinda works.
I think I don't know. There's been a lot of people that have been saying like the wildfires up in Canada has changed a lot of things. The weather's been warm. And if you think about it, even like the pictures wise from like social media standpoint, like you really haven't seen anybody really just burning them.
Just in Nodak when they got that snow last weekend.
I mean, but
That's
like
it, though,
local
really.
wise, though, even
Oh,
like
local, yeah, no.
in Michigan in itself, like you really don't see that many guys that are like absolutely burning the birds up. You know what I mean? Like it's been a struggle, man. It's been a struggle. I mean, we're probably over 200 geese at this point, but it's been tough.
Right.
It's been very tough.
I've heard that from almost everybody I talked to. I was, talking with my buddy Spence and about their place over in Canada and everything, and we're talking to the caretaker there, and there's a couple of surrounding properties that, there's big bird hunters around there, and they were saying the same thing about how just the year has just been super slow and nothing really wants to work, which is, funny for us. I mean,
Well, I think divers are dumb. All they need is the lake. The
I was-
lake's not changing. The lake's
here's a-
always going to be there.
Here's a question though: are divers dumb, or is there? Because I've had this
just
conversation.
yeah, you asked me this on our podcast last time.
Okay, so I'll ask him this. The same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Just
no, I'm,
deadly.
yeah.
But are divers dumb, or are there so many of them when the new birds come in? Those are the dumb ones.
That's what I think. I think there's constantly old ones leaving and constantly new ones coming. Because they'll stay up in there in Canada till it's super freezing cold.
Because I feel like even like geese wise, right? Or mallards, if they come into a new area, they don't know what's going on, right? They don't know structure of the land or whatever it may be.
Right.
If they come into your decoy spread and they don't know, then they're probably going to do it perfectly.
Exactly.
But the birds that have been staying there, they're probably going to be a little bit more weary because they've been shot at, whatever. Same with divers. There's so many divers. The divers that do it absolutely perfect, they're probably the newer birds that are in the area,
Right.
in my opinion.
I think that's probably right. I mean, I know this past weekend and week, this one spot was just hot, really hot. We shot, a limit 45 minutes on Friday, and that's where we shot the redhead. I shot both redhead bands in that same spot.
Right.
Yeah.
You shot them?
Well, I shot
Nolan, give it
I shot
up,
one.
dude.
Nolan shot the other. I got the one here on my keys, actually.
Nolan needs to give it up.
There it is right there, Tommy.
Oh, you got yours on there too?
Yeah.
Oh, how cute. How cute. You guys got it matching.
Matching set.
Actually, 2 days apart bands.
Yeah, it's really funny.
That's pretty insane, though, how, clean that is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Knowles is older than mine. That's 2023. Mine. His is 2021, I think.
The one that I got?
Yeah.
No, it was 2023.
Was it?
They were literally shot,
Both of
or
them?
they were banded 2 days apart. Yeah.
They were banded 2 days apart, but in completely different locations.
Yeah, yours was in
That's pretty
Spruce.
insane.
Spruce.
Manitoba?
Yeah, Manitoba.
Or, shoot. Yeah, mine was near Delta, Manitoba, and yours was in, something Spruce,
Spruce Lake or
Manitoba.
something,
Yes,
yeah.
mine, the date that it was banded was 8/15, 2023.
That's late. That hasn't been on his foot very long. That's
Babies,
why it's so shiny.
dude.
Yeah, no,
Babies.
yeah.
Let them
We're
grow,
babies.
Well,
dude.
yours, all right, Tommy says, what does yours say? Couldn't fly.
Couldn't fly. It was young. It was a baby.
Mine does not
Yours
say
did not
that, so.
Yours could at least fly in August. Yeah.
No, but, regardless, a diver band.
Oh,
though,
yeah, I
come
mean,
on.
just-
It really is. And then another buddy I know shot a bluebill band this last week too.
Really?
Out of a layout. Yeah.
Where was that from? Do you know?
No, I don't. I wish I did, but it was
That
pretty,
was-
pretty looking bluebill. Didn't look like a year-old bluebill.
That was something I think, I don't even know where I was going with that.
Nobody
Gone.
knows, dude.
Yeah, no.
Nobody knows.
Oh, no, that's what I was going. That's what we kind of got into last night too. Was the fact that we were picking up birds in the spread.
How
And,
many more? Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of what goes back to that whole topic of our divers dumb. I mean, dude, we shot at that one group of bluebills and they circled back 3 times. We had our once you shot at them, then we had our limit,
Right.
and they went out, came right back in, landed, went out, came right back in, landed. We're in the spread, and these ducks are landing in our spread.
There's,
that was
I just feel like people talk about it all the
Or
time.
maybe we were
where
just in the spot where they wanted to be.
it's so hard to tell, man.
Yeah.
It's so hard to tell. I truly believe that there's so many divers that you see the rafts of them, you see the 100,000s.
the black clouds of them out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and half of them don't even get shot at all year. I feel
Right.
like.
Just because they stay on the lake,
You know what I
way
mean?
out on the lake.
Right, and when they do come in, that's the first time ever getting shot at,
For the
or
whole
even
year.
being that early. The wind pushes them
Right.
in, or whatever it may be.
It's a good point.
I feel like the divers that they're not dumb birds. They just
Don't get shot at as much
yeah.
as mallards and geese for sure.
right.
Yeah.
Because
That's what I like about it too, because they'll do it. I mean, and they'll do it
Right.
good in
Right.
front of your eyes way
Right.
more often than mallards and geese will.
unless like you're on a hunt
But
like we
at
have.
the same time, the flip side of
Psych.
that is mallards and geese. If you want the challenge, then
And I think
then
that's-
that's your thing. You know,
That's where I'm hooked at with like the geese and the mallards and the puddlers in the fields, where it's more of the communication part of everything compared to divers.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely putting in a lot more work, you know.
Well,
I feel like-
it's not even the work standpoint of it all, but it's the more like the communication, like the duck calling and the
glad we don't
goose
have to call.
calling kind of thing, where it's like, and I'm not saying you can't call divers because I know that
just
you
give
can.
them you know.
Yeah,
That's
you
just-
you
it's a-
can call divers. Don't get me wrong, but like it's a whole point of like the goose calling or the duck calling, or maybe they don't want to be in this certain spot of the field, just like we dealt with that day.
know.
But you're putting them there for that reason. You know what I mean? Like it's just I think that's what kind of gets me. Like there's people I think overlook the standpoint of, even if you have the private land that you can hunt, there's still like the ups and downs with it all, though. You know what I mean? Like there's still the X within the X where the birds want to be compared to where you're set up, and we seen that firsthand on that hunt.
Yeah.
And you know, there's still the challenge of it all. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're getting that
Right,
doing anything, you know.
right.
Right.
But I don't know. What else you guys got? Anything else? I feel like we could talk for hours.
Well, we could
Oh,
so
we
easily.
definitely could.
feel
You
like-
got to come out diver hunting.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to try one time this year. I definitely want to try.
Yeah.
So we'll try to
Get you out
figure
on-
that out.
If you want to lay out, we'll get you out on the layout. Because
Yeah.
I mean, it's an experience within itself.
Yeah, no, we'll figure something out where it's a slow weekend or whatever it is, and do something about it.
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
There aren't really any lull weekends with divers once you get into the cold last weekends of the season.
Well, let's figure something out then.
Definitely. We'll get
figure
something going,
something
dude.
You guys want to shout anybody out or shout yourself out? What's your Instagram?
what's your
Oh
page?
yeah, my Instagram is Knock 'em Dead Outdoors. Knock dot, and there's a bunch of periods in there in between each word, but just
I'll
Knock
tag
'em
you guys
Dead
in the podcast, so the listeners will just click if you are from Instagram, just click the link or click the picture, I guess, and you'll be tagged into that.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Anything else?
I think that's
Any
all I got. Yeah.
topics that you guys want to hit? Nolan?
No, I mean, I think we got a good amount of bases covered today, just with
Like I said,
everything. I mean, it's mid-season still, you know. Like I
Right.
mean, we're about a third of the way. I think we were talking about last
Close to
night.
half,
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're you know, we still got more hunting to do. It's getting colder, you know. We're
Getting better
we're-
every
yeah.
weekend.
You know, it's exciting.
And there is like I mentioned on previous podcasts, there is a thing where I do or would like to have a host or a co-host for the podcast. So, you know, if you guys interested or anybody's interested, get a hold of me. We'll figure something out, because it's nice to be able to talk to somebody, even if it's one-on-one podcast, you know, weekly or whatever it is. I'd like to just kind of mutual kind of thing and more conversational like podcast like we did tonight kind of thing. I don't know. Talk about divers or field hunting, and it just
Even other, you know, deer
Whatever,
hunting.
yeah.
Get somebody,
Yeah,
you
you know
know,
what I
just
mean?
get somebody from
right.
each realm.
Right. So I don't know. It's one thing, but I do want to say the gator decoys. You guys heard about them guys before?
Oh yeah.
I've heard of them, yeah, for sure.
Gator decoys are like the extended poles, and they got, you know, instead of all like the sticks and pieces that you got to put together, it's one piece, you know, for the mojo stands. You put them in the muck or whatever it is. They're actually coming out with a bunch of new stuff coming up here soon, which I'll talk to you guys after the podcast about. GK calls, my favorite calls to run.
Love GK.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see about that. No, but those guys, love those guys over there. Migrate Ammunition, double stack loads, love those guys. Next year, you guys are going to have to start shooting those, if not this year for sure. Absolutely. Everybody that I've been giving boxes to, whatever it is, stones them. I mean, I don't know what you guys are shooting now, but guarantee you'd be shooting more birds and more bands.
I think you'll have to try.
You haven't shot them yet?
No.
I didn't give you shells that one hunt?
No, you didn't.
I'm
No.
a terrible person, dude. I am terrible.
15 people, no shells.
Whatever, no one.
Couldn't even buy me a beer at the bar. But
Whatever, dude.
whatever.
Dude, I'm going to talk to you about that after the podcast, too, because that frustrated me. But, no, those guys over there, my sister with the paracord life, got, gunslings, duck totes, whatever it is, SX decoys. Big shout out to those guys. List goes on and on about everything. But anything else you guys?
No, thank you for having us.
No, thank you guys for coming. I mean, we've had problems over the soundboard and stuff like that, and I didn't know if we were even going to be able to drop one tonight when we did. And I'm happy the whole pod worked out tonight and stuff. But
yeah, I'm glad we were able to get the mic situation figured out.
It took 10, 15,
I don't
but
even
we
know
got
what
it.
happened. I don't even know what
I don't
happened.
know.
That was
We just
bizarre.
kept unplugging and plugging stuff in until it worked.
It worked out though. But no, appreciate you guys having. Thanks for everybody listening tonight and or today, whatever time you guys are listening to this podcast. But I guess until next time.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.